Hey everyone and welcome back to another video for today. So Bitmine BMNR is down 8% at the time of making this video. SBET Sharplink Gaming is also down around 8 to 9% at the time of making this video on Thursday. So what's the reason behind that? There's also some company specific updates that we can talk about with regards to Bitmine, and maybe for Sharplink, just look at the current situation of the company, the MNAV as well, and then we'll do some technical analysis, although I did ask someone to help me out with that. That is much better than me. Bitmine right now is at $7.78 billion in market cap. Year to date, it's still up 488%. And of course, since the, highs, let's say, back here in July, stock is down 70%. Stock is also down around 41% from the recent highs at the start of August. We did get a little bit more information from Tom Lee, which is the chairman of the company, not the CEO, not the founder, it's the chairman of the company. So they did acquire more Ethereum. Now, what has happened? I'm here on Perplexity Pro. Of course, if you're in the United States, you have PayPal or Venmo. You can also get Perplexity Pro for 12 months for free and access to the Comet browser. I highly suggest you go and try it out. It's pretty good, especially when a lot of information these days, especially on the information, is behind the paywall. And that just pisses me off. So what has happened here is that crypto treasury names have been hammered further as NASDAQ reportedly ups scrutiny. So in September 2025, companies holding large amounts of cryptocurrency in their corporate treasuries saw their stock prices fall sharply after reports emerged that the NASDAQ stock exchange is heightening its scrutiny of these firms. The move by NASDAQ, combined with a downturn in the broader crypto market, although Ethereum hasn't really moved that much, has put significant pressure on these crypto treasury companies. And so, the NASDAQ is reportedly implementing new requirements for listed companies that raise capital to purchase and hold cryptocurrencies. These measures are aimed at controlling the rush of companies seeking to boost their stock prices through crypto treasury strategies. According to the report, the new rules may include, may include requiring some companies to obtain shareholder approval before selling stock to raise funds for cryptocurrency purchases. And number two, the possibility of delisting or suspending trading for companies that do not comply with these requirements. And so right off the bat here, I don't see this as a negative thing, right? This is also meant to protect shareholders or potential shareholders of scammy companies out there. Companies that truly only use the public markets to sell stock, buy crypto, and then do whatever. This is meant to protect you as a shareholder. You might say, yeah, but why does the NASDAQ care? Well, the NASDAQ care because it's their responsibility to make sure that the companies that are publicly listed there do comply with certain rules and that this does not turn into a casino rug pulling type of event. Now, this, of course, is also good news for the real legit companies out there because they've got nothing to hide, right? They've got nothing to hide. So yes, there is a little bit more scrutiny here, but fine. If you do get a little bit more transparency, I don't see how this is a bad thing for the future of this space. Now, in the meantime, yes, a lot of the names are coming down quite heavily. There are here some names that I've never heard about before, but like I said, Sharplink is down 8 to 9%, Bitmine is down 8 to 9% as well, and MicroStrategy was down a little bit here. But of course, with Sharplink and BMNR, we are talking about Ethereum, MicroStrategy, of course, the Bitcoin Treasury. I did a complete other video talking about what are crypto treasuries, why they're doing it, what's the strategy behind that. That video will be in the top right corner. But this is basically the main reason why today these stocks are hit or getting hit so heavily. Again, I don't see this as a negative thing. I think this is very good for especially the legit crypto treasury companies. This is a bad thing for the, non-legit crypto treasury names. Moving on here to some announcements. So this was on September 2nd, so at the start of the week. Bitmine announces release of August investor presentation and latest video message from Tom Lee, the chairman of the company. So here again, they talk about the alchemy of 5%. Bitmine crypto plus cash holding was at close to $9 billion, more specifically $8.98 billion. And that does include 1.87 million of ETH tokens. For those that don't know, Bitmine Crypto Holdings reigns as the #1 Ethereum treasury and #2 global treasury behind MicroStrategy, which owns 629,376 Bitcoin, value at $71 billion. Bitmine remains the largest ETH treasury in the world. Bitmine launched its ETH treasury strategy on June 30. That's where basically the big move up did start. In the ensuing 7 weeks, the company has passed many key milestones. Of course, they've been adding to their ETH as well. Now, the mission and the philosophy here is quite simple from their standpoint. The goal is to increase shareholder value by acquiring ETH in their treasury and increasing the ETH held per share, and to achieve a 5% stake in the Ethereum network. Ethereum may see exponential growth driven by the ChatGPT moment in crypto, as stablecoins have seen exponential adoption, leading to Wall Street tokening assets onto the blockchain. The majority of these real-world assets are on the Ethereum blockchain, making the ETH token valuable. The competitive return of MicroStrategy versus Bitcoin over similar timeframes show a crypto treasury stock can be an attractive alternative to owning the crypto token or ETF outright, because an ETH treasury vehicle can unlock growth and utility that owning ETH outright doesn't capture. In this case here, Bitmine is basically a leverage play on Ethereum. Now, again, just because they think XYZ can happen, there is potential, does not mean that these things will happen in the short term or maybe even in the long term. These are just estimates, projections of what potentially could happen if XYZ happens, if the dominoes do fall into place. So the potential Ethereum network value summary is as follows. They estimate that the ETH value sum is $7 trillion. How do they reach that? $4 trillion of estimated replacement cost and $3 trillion of estimated payment volume value here. And the current ETH value back when they released this was $400 billion. I do believe that it's now closer to $525 billion or so. And they think that potentially ETH could be worth $60,000. So around a 15x from today's prices around. Now, you might also have seen the recent video of Tom Lee talking about, well, back at the bottom of, I think, 2018, 2019 or so, ETH was at $90 and then it went up by 54x. ETH was also at the start of, or the mid of this year, at around $1,300. It's already up 200% right now. And so you will see on the chart, I'll pull it up right now, you will see that, okay, because previously ETH went up by 54x, then maybe right now it can also go up by 54x, right? This is around that time, I think he said. The problem with that, of course, is that back here, Ethereum, of course, market cap was much smaller than where it is right now, or where it was even back here in April of 2025. So just because we did have a 54x before does not mean that you're going to get a 54x right now. And you don't even need a 54x in order to have a very good return. By the way, BMNR is still up 10x from June. Okay, if you bought here June 26 or 27, you bought at $4.10 or so. It's now at $41.20. So that's still a 10x. Of course, you even had a 30x or so in a matter of a week after that announcement, which is completely crazy when you think about it. But if Ethereum does go, let's say, to 5,000, 7,000, 10,000, 15,000, right? Doesn't even need to reach, let's say, the 60,000. That's in the long-term future, because there needs to be an adoption rate of stablecoins. There need to be a complete revamp, refresh of the financial system, stock market, you name it, in order for that to happen. Okay, just so we're clear. But if Ethereum does start to move more and more, and BMNR does own 5%, then yeah, then you could see here a huge multi-bagger in the future. Might not be 54x, but are we going to complain? If it's 10x, if it's 15x in the future, probably not, right? Probably not. Now, right now, as you can see, we're sitting here down 41% from the recent highs back in August. But if we're looking here at the 100-day, in this case, it's a simple moving average, there still is around 31% downside risk after we've gone under the 50-day one. This is the 200-day one, which sits at around $17.70. Is it going to go lower? I don't know. It could quickly recover and go back above the, $47.50. Now, with SBET or Sharplink Gaming, which I do think that they should be changing their name, right? Because Sharplink Gaming for another Ethereum Treasury is a bit strange. So this one right now, and I'll show you something else, this one right now is down 61% from the July highs. And if we, again, are looking here at the 200-day simple moving average, there still is around 20% downside right here to reach $11, $12 or so. Now with Sharplink, they do have here an ETH dashboard on their website where they basically show the SBET price, the ETH price as well, the daily volume or average daily volume of the last 30 days, ETH standard ERA, which in this case is representing the percentage return on SBET since the inception of the company's ETH treasury strategy at the start of June. This metric compares the current SBET price to the pipe offering price of $6.15 and then the market cap of the company. Then some very interesting information. So total ETH holdings, average price paid per ETH, that continues to go up, ETH NAV, ETH concentration, staking rewards also goes up and to the right, and then basic MNAV is under 1 at the moment. Okay, this company also, just like Bitmine, did announce a share buyback program of around, I think, $1.5 billion. So the question now is, are we going to get an update from Sharplink saying that either they're buying a lot more ETH, or maybe they just say, oh, actually, we know what, our stock is super undervalued right now, we're going to buy back shares. Some say this is a smart thing to do. The others are saying they should just keep on buying more and more ETH. Same with BMNR. Just keep accumulating more and more Ethereum. If you do believe that Ethereum will double, then it would make more sense to buy more Ethereum right now and then take care of the share buybacks later down the line. Because remember, a share buyback program gives you the opportunity to buy back shares whenever you see fit. You don't have to buy today or tomorrow. And so all in all, that's about it. Look, SBET is probably here number 2 in the discussion if you want that leverage Ethereum crypto treasury type of play. Bitmine is number 1. Bitmine also has that advantage that Tom Lee is in the picture as chairman. I do think that plays a big part here. That doesn't mean that SBET cannot work out, right? Essentially, I mean, they just own less Ethereum. So yeah, if Ethereum does go up significantly, then yeah, SBET is definitely going to be winning here. But Bitmine might just be winning more. The question here is, with who do you want to go? BMNR or SBET, Sharplink Gaming? That's up to you. I don't have any play here right now. It might be very, very interesting. Yes, the upside might be immense. But in this case, you do have to believe. Right? You do have to believe that all of it makes sense. You do have to believe that the adoption rate of stablecoins, that more and more companies and institutions are going to use the Ethereum network, etc., etc. You have to believe all of that. Just because Tom Lee says he thinks it's going to happen does not mean it's going to happen. And even if it's going to happen, it's going to take a while. That's also important here. Even if you're a believer, this won't happen overnight. So in the meantime, of course, they're staking, they can make money and all of that. But the long-term potential here is, again, a long-term thing, right? That $60,000 in Ethereum, it will take a while in order for it to reach that price. I hope we're all very realistic here. But then again, if I zoom out and we see the 30x that happened in a week, maybe some people think it might happen again. We'll see. But the main reason why the stock or these stocks are down today, again, quite heavily, is because of that NASDAQ report, which I don't see as a negative thing. So that's about it from me in this video. Hope you enjoy it. Do share your thoughts down in the comment section below. I'm not bearish on this at all, just not in the belief camp just yet. So that's about it for me in this video. Hope you enjoyed. See you in the next one. Bye bye.